and they actually put the system into a $3 million deficit. So the city basically saying they are not going to offer no money for wages, and they putting pressure on Transdev to get it done.
Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Antonie Maiben, president of the Amalgamated Transit Union, ATU Local 770. His members have been taking some actions recently, so we wanted to get him on the program. Antonie, good to talk to you again.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning. So, before we get into, some of the stuff that your members have been doing recently, can you let our audience know what your members do and who they work for?
We are transit workers. We work for the Wave Transit System. We are contracted by Transdev. It's a management firm that runs different transit systems throughout the United States.
And your members specifically working in Mobile, Alabama, working for subcontractor Wave. I didn't realize that Wave was a subcontractor of Transdev. That connects a few dots for me. So you have been negotiating a contract with Wave recently, and your members engaged in a sick out. I think it was just last week. Can you let us know, why your members were frustrated enough to take that sort of action?
Well, we're being mistreated. The company is not honoring the contract. The company is pick and chooses what part of the contract they want to honor. And what's happening is we're having a lot of rules that are being changed. And people are just tired because it's like we've been negotiating since September. Actually, we started negotiation back in August of 24. And we've been working without a contract since September the 30th when it expired. And we've been trying to get the company to sit down and give us a fair share and at the table. And, they basically telling us they are not going to give us any other increases. And the fact that, we are having things taken away from us because the company states that, you no longer have a labor agreement. So that was one of the reasons why that action was done on this past Tuesday. Tuesday before last, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that stuff hasn't been reported in the media about the sick out, that they've been taking things from you, that the agreement has been expired, and that's pretty amazing that that kind of pretty basic information about an action like that. I haven't seen that reported anywhere else. So there you go. Hear it on the Valley Labor Reports. Can you talk to us some more generally about some of the frustrations, like what are working conditions like down in Mobile for Wave that have been kind of, my understanding is it's been kind of at a simmer even before the more egregious actions the company began taking over the last couple of months?
So basically, we're dealing with a lot of our managers. They are new to their position. They're not aware of how transit is supposed to run. The general manager that we have, he just been hired as of September last year. This is his first company he has ran. He actually was hired through the rank and file, and he was employed with the Wave Transit before he decided to transition to Transdev. So the successor that he had that came before him, he pretty much running the system the same way this other general manager done as well. We're not able to have conversation. If I request for a meeting with the company has to call the attorney anytime that we need to talk about any small or simple thing. So that's one of the issues. And it's like, they are terminating people. We don't keep people. We have a big turnover rate. And I know, jobs are scarce everywhere, but if a person stay there 1 week, sometime they're doing good.
Hey, 5 seconds. Just wanted to say that this is only possible because of our donors. If you want to see more of this, then consider donating yourself at tvlr.fm/donate. Right. Wow. And so like you said, you've been negotiating this contract for a while, and you do have a tentative agreement. But talking to you over the last week, your expectation is that when it's voted on tomorrow, the result will not be a ratification, and that you're expecting your members to vote this tentative agreement down. Why are you anticipating that result?
Because we only got a tentative agreement due to the fact there's no increases. So basically, they want us to accept just a wage increase. They don't want to increase in no type of safety precautions for us, uniforms or steel-toe boots, tool allowance, or anything like that. They just want us to accept the agreement, just to increase pay, just the same pay that they have been telling us from November that what they are offering. The only difference is they retaliatory towards my fence sec and terminated her due to the fact that she was on FMLA because she got sick and had some complications. A person that never been written up. She had sick time, vacation time, and personal time, even when they terminated her. But they say due to the fact that her 12 week was up and her doctor asked for 20 more days past the 30-day extension discretionary that we had, the company decided to terminate her at a 12-year vet.
Wow.
So the union feel like this was retaliatory because some fact is if she did not abuse no type of sick leave, anything like that, she should have been able to get a fair share, because the contract actually say you can give a 30-day extension, and if the 30-day has to go past that, then both parties, meaning the company and the union, have to mutually agree to extend the additional time. So the company took the position that they're not going to extend the time period. So we're dealing with things like that, and that was one of the things they put in the tentative agreement, that if we agree, they'll allow her to come back. So I don't think that's fair to do something like that, to put pressure on, I guess, me to try to convince the membership to accept the position. I don't think that's right. And then there's little other things that they're offering that it doesn't add up to the amount. And one of the biggest issues that we have a real big wage gap between Montgomery, Alabama Transit and Mobile. We are ran by Transdev, both companies, but Montgomery is actually smaller than us. But their drivers are making $4 more than what we are.
Wow.
And yeah, we on the port city. We got a lot of things going on, and the funding is there. And one of the things that transpired was we went to the city council, and the city council basically told us that they gave the Transdev an additional $4 million from last year to run the system. And what Transdev have done was mismanage the money by purchasing cars, SUVs, just unnecessary things, and they actually put the system into a $3 million deficit. So the city basically saying they are not going to offer no money for wages, and they putting pressure on Transdev to get it done.
Wow. That is, that's crazy. So obviously, I know that you'll be keeping us in the loop and letting us know what happens, and I'm sure we'll get you back on into the future as these things unfold. What would be something that you think that your members would accept in a tentative agreement with WAVE?
Well, I think they need to be more compatible as far as the wage is concerned. Certain things pertaining to some like the tools and shoes and things like that, and they making look aside that. But with inflation going on right now, it is hard for us to we have drivers that work in 2 and 3 jobs, and just to make ends meet. And we're steady being we're short. We got drivers out there, working 16, 17, 18 hours a day just to make ends meet. And then on top of that, we just got a notice that our healthcare insurance going up 9.85%. So when you think about you don't have a raise, your healthcare insurance going up, and just like you guys said, you was up in Montgomery, June, the sunset date of the state of Alabama overtime tax probably expire if we can't get an agreement. So that's really going to be an issue with that. That's going to be less money that the members can receive.
Absolutely. And not insignificantly less, especially if your members are regularly working, 12, 16-hour days. That's a lot of overtime. And for those of you outside of Alabama, what Antonie is referring to there is last year, Alabama repealed the income tax on overtime wages. Alabama's income tax is 5% for most income. And so you're talking about, something approaching a 5% pay cut if this overtime's tax cut does not get renewed, and it's looking like it's not going to be. So that's going to be a big hit to your members, I know. So hopefully you'll be able to get waived to agree to a better agreement after your members vote it down tomorrow. What can folks listening do to support you and your local?
Well, what I would like to see is, we're trying to call out the city council. The city council basically saying they don't have no control of what's done down at the transit system. It's all on the mayor and the administration. And if you in the city limits or ride the transit system, contact your city council, contact the mayor, and let them know the importance of having valuable transportation, and that if the transit stop, it's going to hurt everyone, not just some. It's going to hurt everyone, because the stores and things like that, where people are riding the bus to go to work, they're not going to be able to go to work. And then if they're not able to go to work, then prices can increase throughout the city for different materials and things like that. So, I wish everyone to, reach out to them, say, look, be fair. If anyone should be penalized, it should be the management company that managed, because this their fault, the reason why we don't have the funding.
Absolutely. Antonie Maiben, president of the Amalgamated Transit Union, Local 770 in Mobile, Alabama, representing bus drivers for Wave Transit in the city. Really appreciate your time. Your members are going to be voting on a tentative agreement tomorrow. We'll let you know what happens next week. Antonie, is there anything else that you wanted to leave our listeners with before we let you go?
Just, keep us in your prayers and hope for the best.
All right. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Keep it up.
Thank you.
You just saw a clip from the Valley Labor Report. We are live every Saturday morning from 9:30 a.m. till 12:30 p.m. And we pride ourselves on keeping all of our content free to everybody so that we can talk to as many working folks as possible. If you support the work that we're doing, you think that it's important, you think that it's good, then consider making a monthly contribution to the project, and you can do that on our website, tvlr.fm.